Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. We're going to take a look at our markets from an educational perspective, identifying breakouts, reversals, all that fun jazz, looking for areas and opportunities for today's market. So let's dive in first. S&P's down 14 points this morning. As we saw yesterday on our CPI numbers, a little bit of a sell-off, and then that sell-off created a bit of a supply zone. So on that supply zone that was created, it actually gave you an opportunity for a good short yesterday. So hopefully some of you were able to catch that move and ride that down yesterday as it came down throughout the day. So that level, I'm not going to be using that one again, but looking forward, where would be my next area? See, on a 15-minute chart, I don't have a lot of great levels up here that are going to be great reversal opportunities. We do have an hourly level of demand down here we're going back till March of last year, but it is a nice little rally, strong move away, this 38.84 by 38.73. That's a fairly good level. The downside is that it's completely counter trend. Right, I mean it's totally counter trend to what it is we're doing today, and so I'm gonna leave it in there because it is still a valid zone, but it's got to be a confirmation entry if you want to try to take something off of that level. But what can that do? That can also rally us back up on a 15-minute to maybe one of these better, more quality zones. So as I look at kind of what we had in the overnight, I'm looking right at the London market opens, and I don't have a lot of great levels there. And so I would like to see price rally up a little bit and then give me a sell-off to create a better zone. As it stands this morning, I basically have these areas up here that are pretty good supply zones. I just don't think that we're going to make it all the way back up there today. 4,000 being kind of the best one. But that's got we got a ways to go in order to get to that area in price. The NASDAQ yesterday obviously took a much bigger fall than the rest of the markets. Did not rally back up to the origin of this move down to give you an opportunity for an entry. So that level, I just removed it, but it is actually still valid. Looking on a smaller time frame, call it the 15-minute chart. We also have the same picture of supply right up in here that I think is very valid. Now, not coming to as quality of a demand area in the NASDAQ as we are in the other markets, we've got a better potential for a breakdown below the Globex low. So keep an eye on the Globex low for a potential breakdown in the NASDAQ. We did have some overnight supply that was created right through here that we may potentially retest. Not a great time of day for levels to be formed, but is still a pretty clean area. In that level right there. So those would be, I think, kind of the best levels in the equity markets. A breakdown of the NASDAQ, the rally back up into that supply area, I think are going to be the best levels to identify. Looking at the Russell 2000, a little bit of a rally up off the demand area yesterday, and then that kind of just meh. And so similar picture that we have to the other markets, potential breakdown below the Globex low. For today, I think is in play. So all of our markets continuing on the bearish track. There's no reason to be looking at longs today. Overall, I would say that the bearish markets make the most sense for today, and continuing to look on the short side. When we move over to our energies and metals, particularly the crude oil and gold markets, starting with crude oil. Crude oil yesterday came right into our supply level. So hopefully some of you are able to catch that and get a little move away from that zone. At this point, I'm going to remove that level, but that will turn into a really nice trade and setup from yesterday. And now you've got a little bit of a breakdown point here at 102.58. So keep an eye on that one for a potential breakdown if we get basing in front of the level at 102.58. This is a little bit of a, I affectionately refer to these as Batman trades, where I've got these two wicks that are pointing up. Looks like Batman's cowl. And so those are typically pretty strong bearish moves that follow that price pattern. Shows good, solid price rejection. Yesterday, gold also hit a wick over wick level. We didn't get a strong move away from this one, unfortunately. We hit it and kind of went sideways. 6-candle rule says you should probably be out of this trade if you got into it. It's not really going anywhere at the moment. As far as smaller time frame, even moving to say the 15-minute chart in here. I would say you're probably best up here, but I don't know that we're going to make it back up to there today. So lots of levels kind of far away on reversals that I don't know if we're going to make it back up to today. So look for breakouts. Look for potential breakouts in some of these trade setups. There is, this area down here to pay attention to that could serve as a stalling point for the move down. So look to see if we get some sort of basing in this region down here that can lead to a breakout. I think that would be the thing to look for in this market. I keep looking at it every day, and I'm going to continue to keep looking at it. The euro finally gave us our breakdown. So the euro gave us a good, solid breakdown. So if you have been following the euro and listening to what we've been talking about, hopefully you're in that short right now, getting a little bit of a move. If you did not have that trade set up in place and you missed the opportunity for the entry, if we get a retest back up into here, I would say that you've got probably a 2-to-1 reward to risk already done. Look for that as an opportunity to get in on a rally back up. But that thing has started to move pretty nicely in our direction. Same thing if you go to the Japanese yen. We're still waiting on the breakdown in the yen. Didn't quite get it as of yet. So still waiting on that breakdown. I actually saw some strength yesterday in the yen. And then the Aussie also gave us the breakdown that we talked about yesterday. Rallied into supply, sold away, and then we got our breakdown from that level as well. And so the next supply area in the Aussie to pay attention to would be this area up in here. So these are all valid areas and trading opportunities so long as you are continuing to monitor these markets on a regular basis. So that's all I really have for today. Not a whole lot else to cover. If you guys have any questions, as always, shoot us an email, support@tradersarmy.com. I will talk to you soon.